what I do is that I go out and I take a photograph, okay? And then I take it and I take a felt pen and I mark out all the X's everywhere that I don't want in my painting.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I've never heard that before.
Well, it's just something that I kept looking at and I kept thinking, you know
You
what?
mean you're eliminating?
I'm eliminating.
You're eliminating.
Because I'm looking at my photograph and you don't want to paint everything in the...
Well, no, it's just too busy.
So what I do is that I look and I say, well, that doesn't need that here. I'll put an X here and an X there. Hey guys, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
He really truly enjoyed your riverbanks pictures, and he says he wants to be just like you.
Well, thank you, my young man. Daniel,
You got it.
a good boy.
Budding artist.
And so...
Yeah, that's wonderful. People from getting busy.
Very nice.
And so what
Thanks.
I do is
Do you mind if I steal that idea from you?
Yeah.
it was just something that I just kept looking at, thinking, you know, next thing you know, when you're working from your photograph, you're putting something in and then you're taking it out because it's. So that's exactly what I do. I take a felt pen, make an X on everything that I am wanting to take out of the painting. Then what I do, I set up my easel and then I take a pastel pencil and I roughly sketch.
Okay.
I do not draw. I sketch lines like this.
There's a big difference.
And so that's what I do. And then once I do that, and I've used this as my road map.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay. And then after I do that, then I take it and I turn it around, throw it away or whatever. And then because I do all of my colors myself, I do not want it to resemble that, except for the details of the.
Well, if you're like me, people look at it and they immediately recognize where it came from. Even if the colors don't relate, they still do, in a sense.
Well, you know, I teach a class out in Bandera every Tuesday, and the two things that I try to get my students to remember always is that always remember light against dark, dark against light, warm against cool, cool against warm. That's the one thing that I'm constantly telling them.
Yeah.
Is because without those darks, you don't have a painting.
You don't have contrast.
No, you don't.
That's
you
what
don't
gives
have a
it
painting.
the depth.
So anyway, that's exactly what I do.
That's wonderful.
And
the only thing I'll do different from you, perhaps, is I tend to lay in masses of color instead of doing a sketch. I'll do a sketch, but I'll use a mass of color.
Then do you go back in with for an underpainting and do with alcohol or mineral?
No, I just use soft pastels. The hard part for me has been finding the right paper.
UART.
Well, you know what? I just got back from California. One of my collectors invited me to live with him and his family for a month and a half and paint in California. And I made a special trip to Dick Blick because they advertise they don't have it in their stores. But on your recommendation, I'm going to buy one.
Well, I want to tell you what. Now listen, they come in different series.
Yeah, I've read up on
Okay. Now, the higher the series, the softer the paper. It's less...
Tooth.
Yes. 400 is almost like a Kitty Wallace.
Too much.
Too much. But then there's a 500, a 600, and an 800. And I was really using 800 a lot, but I have